So we know that Khabib started out by wrestling a bear. He smashed Conor Mcgregor, totally dominated Justin Gaethje, and then he retired. Or has he? So in this short video, we're going to be looking at why this one action is all you need to know to understand why Khabib the Eagle Nurmagomedov could be back in the cage sooner than we all think.
Alhamdulillah!
Alhamdulillah to that! So welcome back to the Believe in Bruce channel. Performance, psychology and body language, anything to do with the head and heart. If you're interested, subscribe below and also put your comments below as well. For the algorithm, give it a like. So for those of you who may be uneducated, slightly naive to, oh well, body language is a pseudoscience. Actually, it's only a pseudoscience if you don't know how to utilize it correctly. Body language combined with performance psychology, that gives us numbers, it gives us logic. It's never 100% accurate, but it gives us numbers. And why wouldn't you if you're a betting person, why would you put a bet on emotion rather than logic? So watch this video, understand a little bit more about it, understand how it could help you as a person, as an athlete, as a boxer, but also as a coach or just a betting person to make more accurate predictions. Biology doesn't lie and the numbers don't lie. It's all about logic, not emotion. So the Khabib versus Gaethje fight, I was down at True Geordie's on his live stream. Huge channel, 2.2 million views or something like that. If you haven't checked it out, on the next box or the huge boxing fight or UFC fight, have a look at True Geordie's channel. And what I've done is 2 days before the fight, I put Khabib wins. Like there was no ifs, buts or maybes. Khabib, and then I followed it up. But after he won by, as I said, Khabib wins. So when we look at body language here on this specific event, is Khabib coming back? Is he really retired? Or is he actually going through some period of turmoil, which would be expected, the emotional state that he's in? So when we're looking at here, what we're going to talk about is the T-junction. What is the body doing at that particular time when he's verbalizing something, all right? And that's key, because I'm going to show you something in a minute. And it's about what he says and specifically what he does. And what we're talking about is the Pinocchio touch, all right? The Pinocchio touch. A movement well known on the Believe in Bruce channel. And it's when someone's saying something and do this slight touch of the nose. Now people always ask me, oh, Believe in Bruce, well, are they not just itching their nose? Well, no, a touch is different from an itch. All right, and it's about what they're saying or what they're doing at that particular time combined with their body language. So when someone touches, always be aware when someone's touching their nose. It could mean they're lying, it could mean they're uncomfortable, it could mean something's going on subconsciously that they're not consciously aware of. But what you do know is something else is going on in their head compared to the verbalization that's coming out. And this is what we get with the limbic system, all right? The old friend, the limbic system. So important to understand in body language. Again, this could be contract negotiations, it could be if you go for a job interview. It could be if you're just talking to someone and you want to try and find something out. So when we are talking to somebody, now in this situation, Khabib was given an interview. So that information comes from the thalamus. If we detect any type of threat, it'll go to the amygdala, all right, instead of the cortex. The hypothalamus then picks us up because the amygdala, is the seat of fear or flight. Fight, flight or freeze, yeah? That's what we're talking about, the seat of all emotion. It keeps us alive, but it also does things to the body. So remember when somebody does something to the body, or the body language analysis gives something away, is that if you notice that, so I'm not making it up what Khabib's done here. I'm simply pointing at what I observed. I can't say Khabib touched his nose. If he didn't touch his nose, we clearly see that he does touch his nose. And he's talking about specifically giving his word to his mother that he wouldn't fight again.
She don't wanna go fight without father, but I promise her it's gonna be my last fight.
So we're looking for an emotional baseline. Anybody's got an emotional baseline. You have, I have, people who you may be observing, trying to actually extract some truth from. But their emotional baseline is what do they do all of the time, roughly. If they do anything more of the time or less of the time, I want to find out why. And you'll see this interview. At the specific time when Khabib touches his nose, he's talking about giving his mother his promise that he will not fight again.
And if I give my word, I have to follow this.
So that's what it is. He's saying, I promise, I'm a man of my word. Now he is. He's a man of integrity. He's a man of like the proper warrior code, as I would try and categorize it. But what we've got is an undeniable Pinocchio moment. And remember, an itch is like this. You don't itch your arm just by giving it a quick rub. You itch it. All right? A touch. That touch there. That touch is that limbic system kicking in, that adrenaline kicking in, that coming through here, the erectile tissue in the nose, all right, enlarging, which is why we get that little fleeting touch there. Because what he's saying, there is a disagreement going on inside his head. This is the one thing, alhamdulillah, that could give us all joy that Khabib is going to be coming back into the cage. Dana White's come out and said that he's emotional. Of course he's emotional. First mega fight, well actually his first fight without his father being present. And also the Hawthorne effect comes in here. As a loyal man of integrity, he would have been watching his father, or inside his head hoping his father was watching him. So the Hawthorne effect is when we change our behaviours based on our perception that somebody is watching, or we believe that they are watching. It affects our behaviours. Then we've got the imposter syndrome that kicks in. Again, Khabib's behaviour, or at least the inside, that mental narrative that could have been playing out, may have been changed because, again, he thought his father was watching. He wants to impress his father. He wants to make his father happy. His dad's been with him since he was a young child. Loyalty, integrity, value, valor, all of these type of things could have been playing inside his head on the night. But we still get that touch. That indicates that what he is saying, you can't argue with this, I can't argue with this. All right, it's nature, biology doesn't lie. That he is unhappy, there's some type of argument going on with what he's saying is making him feel uncomfortable. I don't know if he will come back. All right, we can't say for guarantee, like I said at the start. All right, you can't guarantee anything. Nothing's 100%. But that one touch of the nose gives me joy, gives me comfort, gives me optimism and excitement that he might not definitely be done fighting in the octagon. So if you want to learn more about body language or performance psychology, again, it's such an underutilized tool, especially within the fighting game. You know, fighters focus on this, but it's here especially optimizing your performance, but also trying to reduce the potential of your opponent as well by using mind games. Such an underutilized tool. Any coaches out there, or anybody who's just interested in this aspect of the sport, drop me a message, join us at Instagram, BelieveInBruce360. But just to conclude, what is the probability that we will see Khabib back in the octagon?
Alhamdulillah.
But more important than any of this, believe in Bruce. Remember to be kind to yourselves and each other.